So the inmates took over the asylum. I didn't realize until it was too late that we really should have adopted a community charter and established ourselves as a sort of sensible constitutional republic. Instead, what we got was anarchy, which quickly descended into the mob rule that besets Wikipedia's governance today. This poor management is what has been responsible for Wikipedia's long string of embarrassing scandals. And so, new enterprises come with all sorts of unique problems, and you ignore them at your peril. Originally, the Nupedia-Wikipedia tandem was going to be a for-profit .com. You may not know that it was going to be a Wikipedia.com at first, not .org. We were going to introduce advertising only after there was enough traffic to make it worth our while. We knew that advertising was going to be unpopular, but we didn't know the half of it. By the time the project had developed a deeply committed set of participants, it had become politically impossible to introduce advertising. When people from the Spanish language Wikipedia got wind of plans for advertising near the beginning of 2002, they revolted and started their own wiki encyclopedia. Shortly after that, we announced that there would never be advertising on Wikipedia. Internet guru Jason Calacanis later said that this was one of the dumbest decisions ever made. But I would say instead that it was really the only way to keep the project thriving and filled with enthusiastic volunteers. If your enterprise depends on volunteer labor, you will not necessarily be in control. And as far as I'm concerned, that's as it should be. After all, a bunch of people are getting together to donate their time, free of charge, to the cause. They should have a say. The 1990s .com boom turns to bust right as Wikipedia was getting started. Bombas.com, which funded Wikipedia, lost a big advertising contract and had to lay off most of their workers. At the time, Wikipedia had just 20,000 entries. It seemed like a lot at the time, but Bombas was making no money from me, so I was the last of the new hires to be laid off. I could have continued on as a volunteer community manager, but I decided not to. I didn't want to devalue my own professional labor, so I resigned. At the time, I had some complaints about the Wikipedia community, which I was no longer in a position to do anything about. By the end of 2002, I had become so disgusted by the behavior of some of the people in the Wikipedia project that I gave Jimmy Wales an ultimatum. I asked that he do something about the problem of all the troublemakers within the Wikipedia community who had made participation intolerable for many people. I asked that he find some way to make experts feel more welcome within the community. If he would not do these things, I would permanently separate myself from the project. Wales refused, and so I left the Wikipedia fold permanently. I'm now probably better known as a critic of Wikipedia. I'm not sure there was any business lesson in that, but maybe. Sometime afterward, it occurred to me that I could personally have helped to avoid Wikipedia's governance problems if I had realized sooner how important they would become. So I would draw this lesson. If you are managing a large group of strong-willed people, and innovative enterprises tend to attract very strong-willed people, pay attention to political issues and take steps to make sure that you can stay on top of them. After Wikipedia, I went on to do many things. I actually taught here at Ohio State in the philosophy departments for a while. Then I worked on something called the Digital Universe for a year. While there, I helped to start another wiki encyclopedia called the Encyclopedia of Earth. Then, in the fall of 2006, I started a competitor of Wikipedia called Citizendium, and we're still plugging away with that. And most recently, a retired Memphis philanthropist tapped me to start watchknow.org, a brand new kind of wiki site, a directory of educational videos for kids. We launched that last fall and are still hard at work on it. We've indexed over 17,000 videos in over 4,000 categories, and teachers love us, which is nice. I'm still having fun and providing some useful content to people. And if you want a moral out of all of that, it would be keep innovating because it's fun and useful. Yes, it might make you rich, especially if you're on the for-profit side of things, but in the long run, it might be more important to innovate simply because building new things that solve problems in new ways is a rewarding and useful way to spend your life.